The first thing that we're going to do is create a new file. I'm going to create a new letter size document, so 8.5 inches wide by 11 inches tall. And I'm going to click OK. I'm going to open up my candy photo and I'm going to turn it black and white. And I think the best way to turn it black and white is to go into the black and white cookie here, click on Gradient Map, and turn your picture black and white this way. If you can't find this gradient, you can click the drop down and it should be in here. After that, I'm going to go in and adjust my levels. This photo looks pretty good. And then I'm going to flatten my image. So I'm going to click on the stack up here and go down to flatten image. Finally, I'm going to click on the crop tool. And you're going to crop your picture to be a 4x4. So it's going to be a square. We're going to hit enter or make the check mark. So what we're going to be doing is applying different color theories to the pictures of the candy and then dragging them into this background so it'll appear to be an Andy Warhol style picture. So if we reference back to those color theory maps we made, the first color theory you have should be primary colors. So I'm going to click on the black and white cookie, go back into Gradient Map, and right here is my primary color scheme. So I can just click on that and it comes up as yellow, red, and blue. If I wanted to adjust this, I can double click on it and I can kind of slide around how much red is within my picture. Or I can even change the hue of red to something a little darker or lighter if I wanted to. So before I click and drag and move this to here, otherwise I'm just dragging the gradient, what I'm going to do is click here and go to flatten image. It's now one layer and I can bring it into the background. So that's our first one. I might pull this window away to float. I seem to have lost my candy picture, so I'm going to go to Window, Arrange, Float All in Windows. Here's my candy. And what I need to do now is open up the history palette so I can go back to my original black and white picture. I don't want to apply my second color cast over what's already here. So I'm going to go to Window, History, and you can see everything that I've done. So you can see that I've flattened my image, that I've changed my gradient map. I'm going to go back to Gradient Map, one layer, where it's black and white. And now I'm going to go back in and go to Gradient Map again and find secondary colors. There's my secondary colors. Oops. I'm going to flatten, drag into the background. Back to the history again, back to my black and white version. And now, if I want to do something like my complementary colors, sorry, this is giving me a hard time. Gradient map, here it is. What I can do is, this is already a complementary color, but it's kind of ugly. So to edit a gradient, we can double click on the gradient, double click on this little house down here, and now I can change my color. So I like blue and orange. Clicking OK, clicking OK. Again, remember we have to flatten our image, drag in. So you're also going to do this when you come up with the analogous color scheme, although you may end up using, you may end up using a gradient that's got 1, 2, 3, 4 colors to it, or 3 colors. For monochromatic, you're going to end up using this black and white one, and then you're just going to change it from black to whatever color you may choose. So it fades. Remember, monochromatic is a value scale. Click OK. flatten, and drag. And we're going to keep going till we have 6 squares. If you would like, you can add a little white border between them, or you can press them up one against the other. I would just say try to make sure that when you finish with all of them, that you center them on the page, and pay attention to the borders. We want this to look neat and clean.